So it's there. All right, so we'll be on maybe 15, 20 minutes. I just really wanted to take you through what the nature of this course is, so you know what's going on there. So actually, since you know me, I really don't need this slide, but I think I was a cute little baby, so that's about 1951 in Trenton, New Jersey. That's as you see it. And then, I don't know what happened, but that's what I turned into. So anyway, again, just so you know why, I think it's important that, I'm dealing with this, because you guys are going for your superintendent certification, is that, again, when I was at Elanco, I'm going to look at Elanco, Norristown, Morrisville. Elanco as an assistant superintendent for curriculum instruction. Norristown as assistant superintendent of curriculum instruction. I was also the acting superintendent there. And then at the IU, I was the director for curriculum instruction. And then at the governor's office, and I think I might have told you guys this, that I was on loan to the governor's office, and in Pennsylvania, they had Link to Learn in the late 90s, where the legislators gave money to school districts to figure out what they were going to do with this thing called the internet. And so my job was to go around the state, working out of Tom Ridges' office on technology, and go around the state and bring school districts and communities and businesses together to begin to explore, actually using some of the stuff you learned in 800, the systems thinking approach, to beginning to develop stories of what they might do with this thing called the internet. Because at that time, they were attempting to build what was called the Pennsylvania Network, the PEN. So I was there for 2 years, and then and then I became superintendent in Marsville, superintendent at Northwest Lehigh, and then I came in Drexel University 10 years ago. So it's been like 48 years, long time, dealing with education in general. And again, as I say to all the classes now, if you don't like the EDD, you can blame me, because I was one of the co-designers of the program. So we'll just let that go. So anyway, that again is, from a curricular point of view, I've had a lot to do with curriculum. So the two textbooks that you're working from is the Gredler book, which I think is an extremely important book for you. And I don't know if you had a chance to look through it yet, but it really takes a deep dive into the philosophical or the theoretical underpinnings of all the different types of instruction and curriculum that are out there, whether it be behavioralism or constructivism, etc. And I really think, that a lot of times your master's programs and even doctoral programs do a disservice to you, because you don't get any of a deep understanding of like who Bruner is, or Gagné, or Vygotsky, or any of these people, and particularly as curriculum people, that as a superintendent, if you have responsibility of putting a curriculum together or leading that to me is an extremely important thing for you to begin to understand. So you'll see with the assignments how I'm going to get you to go into that book. And then my buddy Young Zhao, I took his book 1 of World Class Learners, and I think that will help you a lot for thinking about design of product-based learning. But I also, and I think I say in the syllabus, I do recommend book 2 and 3 for you also. I just wasn't going to have to buy those. But at least these 2 books, I think, will help you greatly as we go through the course. So everybody, obviously, I'm going to make the assumption we're able to get the books. So here's the structure in relationship to this. Going to have you do reflective conversations. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to break you into 2 teams. I'll post what the teams are, and then, as we've done in the past, I want you to work in your teams and try to meet weekly discussing the stuff that I'm going to expose you to, obviously, as we go through this course, and I'm going to try to really expand your thinking about the different frameworks about learning that's taking place there. I found a lot of really good interview videos that I think will help you, and it will tie greatly into what your assignments are. But again, my structure is have you work in teams, because again, that's how you learn. You're going to learn from each other. And if you go back to the Russell Ackoff book, way back in 800, as he says, the people who learn best in a classroom is the student who is both teacher and student. So my job, as you see, as a facilitator, is to create that space and to lend my expertise in those areas to help you. So that's what the reflective conversations are all about. Now, what I want you to do is, I'm asking you to watch those 2 videos that I have there. And then really what I want you to do is, at this point, kind of surface what your underlying assumptions are, your mental models are about a curriculum. And then as you look at those 2 videos, how do they interact with that? And so I want you to kind of put together, reflect upon what you really think about curriculum. What is it? And then finish with a short narrative of your ability to visualize what your vision is about curriculum and what it's going to be. So I'd like you to just, you can do it in Audacity or you can do it in a voice thread, no more than 5 minutes. And just, because we're going to use that as the baseline of what you're thinking about curriculum is at the beginning of the course. So does that one make sense to you guys? Those of you who are on, any questions about what I want you to do there?
No, not for me.
Okay.
No. And did you want us to also post it on the discussion board? Because I saw the link where we send it to you, but then when I write the discussion board, it looks like we're attaching something to the discussion board as well.
I'm getting rid of the discussion board. There is no discussion board.
Okay.
If it's there, I'm going to get rid of it. So
Okay.
yeah, all I want you to do is upload it to me or send it to me in an email.
That works. And then our reflective conversations, we can do it by any means.
Any means, they're yours. That's not my space, that's your space. Awesome. You know me, I just say, look guys, this is your responsibility. There's a lot of stuff there I want you to meet. So I trust you to do that.
Great, thanks for clarifying that. Thank you.
Okay, so that's the underlying assumption. Then the next one will be this focused thinking. So as we get into this course, obviously, I want you really to think about, how does technology really begin to impact curriculum? So if you go back to 802 and think about what you looked at there, here's what I want you to do is really, drawing upon 802, 800, and 845, is I really want you to speculate on your own theory about how technology is going to impact those question 2 and 3 that's on the syllabus. Okay? So I kind of want you to do a dive into that. And actually you can think about what you did when you designed your schools of the future if you want to or whatever. But more importantly, to say, okay, we have this thing out there that is radically changing the structure of how information is being delivered today. And that's, obviously social media, the internet, virtual reality, all that stuff. So I really want you to kind of do a dive into that and then present it to me in however you want to do it. Okay? So you want to do Prezi, you want to do it, you want to create a video, or you want to do it as voice thread, or you just want to do an MP2 as, talking about it. But I really want you to talk about how you see technology impacting the development of curriculum, and you can use your current reality of that or thinking forward about, what it might be, from your own leadership style. Okay, does that make sense? Any questions, clarifications on that one?
Nope.
Okay, so that I think is going to help you really to begin to to look at that. Now, here's these check for your understanding. So what you've noticed in the syllabus and I still have the word paper in there. And I mean, if you want to do paper, you can. But each week when this starts, the Gredler book, you're going to read about 2 theories. And so as you look through these things, I want you to kind of say, okay, this is the one I seem to migrate towards. And then what I want you to do with it then is, I want you then to kind of summarize it. You know, what do you see the assumptions and the key assumptions are, and really to be able to articulate what that theory is. Now, the reason I'm asking you to make it concise and to articulate it in a way is because one of the roles that you'll have as a superintendent, you know, is to, or assistant superintendent, curriculum director, whatever, is your ability to communicate your understanding about the theoretical underpinnings of some type of curricular design. So as you go through this, I'm taking, like, for example, you're going to deal with behavioralism, you're going to deal with constructivism, you're going to deal with these things. And that Gredler book really lays it out, I think, quite well, and then shows you how it plays out in the classroom. So I want you then, so every time you have to do the check for understanding, I want you to pick one of the 2, because you're always dealing with 2, and then I want you to be able to articulate your understanding of it. Okay?
Okay.
And then, you know, as we go along with that, obviously, as we get in, you know, of course, you got more questions about it, you know, you'll be able to ask those. But that's the intent of this. So that you're able to, in a very concise way, really drive home the point of why this particular theory is important, you know, for curriculum. All right, so that's check for your understanding. And then finally, I think this is the last one. Yeah. So what I'm going to have you do, and I'm going to break you into 2 teams. And so each team then is going to work collaboratively, and you're going to build what you believe is a 21st century curriculum system, you know, in a way that you've done like in 800 or in 802, you know, with a curriculum or a technology classroom of the future, or in 801 with designing a school for the future. So what I want you to do now is, okay, you're a curriculum expert, so I want you to be able to build the framework for what the next generation of curriculum needs to look like. Now, you'll be able to do that because I'm going to expose you to a lot of, you know, thinking about, you know, instructional design, curriculum design, what some of the major thinkers are today. Like, for example, that video Will Richardson today, he you know, tied into modern learners. Those guys are out there really talking about making changes to what's going on. Young Zhao, obviously, you know, is dealing with changing schools. Also Ken Robinson, people like that. So, okay, but you got to deal with the reality that there are curriculum designs like Common Core, you know, the new science standards, all those things. So I want you to be able to take those and look at them projecting into the future, but also think about, okay, how do we get to that? What's the leadership I'm going to have to do? So, and as I say there, the criteria is you have the liberty to think creatively about how to represent the results of your thinking. So, and again, I'll, you know, as we go through this, you know, I'll be able to help you to think about that even more. So think about this in terms of a prototyping activity that you're going to design based upon, you know, the knowledge that in the content that you're gaining in this to really come up with a 21st century curriculum system. And because that's important to you, and any superintendent or assistant superintendent that knows how to do that and to articulate it. So your check for understanding helps you to do the articulation. This activity is to help you to really stretch your thinking, to really draw upon the future as opposed to the past. All right? Make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys know me. So that's where we're going to go with that one. And then finally, any questions? Comments? Clarifications?
You said we're gonna break into 2 teams. I know you mentioned earlier there were only a total of 7 of us in the class.
Yeah, it'll be 4 and 3.
Okay.
Can't do it any other way.
That's true. Well, 3 of us are here, so we could.
Yeah. So I'm just going to do it that way, and because I figured, I could have you do it as now. Let me ask you something. Do you think it would make more sense to do it as a collective group? You guys debate that and let me know.
I think it depends who else is in the class.
And I don't mind it. I don't mind it 2 groups because I always like looking at another group's perspective. It gives me more idea.
Okay, good. Then I will put the groups together.
Is it possible for us 3 to be a group?
Okay. I guess so. You guys are here. Sorry, guys who are listening to this. You're the other group. All right. So, yeah, let me just hang on 1 second. I'm going to check that off. Let me make notes of this because, as one gets older, though, the problem memory falls apart. But again, I'm recording this, so I'll know this anyway. So it doesn't matter. Yeah, okay. So you 3 want to work as a group.
Yep.
Forever hold your peace. All right. Okay, you will be group 1 or whatever. Okay, and then those of you who are listening to this, you're the second group. Okay, good.
Thank you.
We took care of that one quite well.
And are these 2 groups, or these are the same? We're going to do the same as far as the reflective conversation.
Yep.
Okay.
And then, when we do some Zooms, and I'll figure out, now is a 6, let me ask you this. When we do Zooms, is a 6:30 Zoom okay for you guys?
What day of the week?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
I'm okay with that.
I can do 6:30, especially on Mondays.
Okay, because I've got to navigate between 4 classes. So
Yeah.
this group, all right, so we'll try to do 6:30 on Mondays if possible. So
Okay. Yeah, I can definitely do 6:30 on Mondays.
I will work that around and see how the other guys do too. But again, they'll be recorded too, so I'm not overly concerned about that. Okay?
Okay.
So that's it then.
Awesome.
Yeah, I figured you guys would be happy, and I got to go get shocked for my